My goodness, it's December 26th. And last minute, James Wolfe finally speaks, the last one in the movie to speak. We love him very much. Obviously, Mr. James Wolfe, thank you. We are grateful. The sport maniacs and all the fans of Franco Colapinto for giving him the opportunity to do 9 races in Formula 1. But it is true that this issue could have been handled differently. This video is simply still a constructive criticism for Williams, for James Wolfe. Because it seems that Red Bull and also Flavio Briatore played clean. The one who doesn't seem to have been showing all the cards in his deck in this poker game in the great circus of Formula 1 seems to have been James Wolfe. And you have it in the previous video. We go with the words of the head of Williams, who confirms what nobody wanted to hear. And that is that Franco Colapinto is not going to start the 2025 season, at least the first race, unless directly a miracle. We go with the words directly from the head of Williams, James Wolfe, who plans a future for Franco Colapinto that he himself describes as the future, the technique, the tactic, Ocon. Welcome, Sport Maniacs, Formula 1 section of YouTube. Stay, enjoy, and give a mega like. That big. To tell James Wolfe that we want Franco Colapinto in 2025 in Formula 1. Something makes me suspect that both Williams and Formula 1 and many are pending all of us sport maniacs. And why do I say it? Because 24 hours later, even less, after we released this video telling all the truth of what had happened with the dates, and now is when James Wolfe comes out to speak just after we released this video. Without more, if the intention of Williams is to clarify things, thank you very much. But I think there is still much to clarify. Because we come directly from James Wolfe saying on December 14th, be attentive. The changes are not over, and we are attentive, James. We are attentive to what? That the news is the head of Williams gave details of future plans with Colapinto and explained that he will apply the method for his next steps in Formula 1, James. For this, it would have been better not to have been attentive. It reminds me of when they told us to set the alarm clock with all the enthusiasm, and then we were disappointed. Do you remember? Well, what exactly has James Wolfe said? That in part we thank him for having clarified it. He clarifies it late and badly because he really does not speak directly about how the negotiations have gone, something that we have to intuit through the dates. But we are going to focus on the words of James, which are very important because it seems, for the moment, the only key piece together with Flavio Briatore for the future of Franco Colapinto in Formula 1 2025, which is directly what we are all looking for, the Spanish-speaking fans of Formula 1, to recover Franco Colapinto and also Sergio Perez. James Wolfe says the following: we will have a historic car, a 2-year-old car for Franco. He will use it a lot to get a lot of speed. I understand that this is a 2-year-old car. He will use it to get a lot of speed. I think he has already demonstrated the speed. He said it for the Portal Ring News 365. The strategy of using old machinery, also known as TPC pre-car tests, allows teams to develop and evaluate their drivers outside the official calendar. That is to say that some driver has had this possibility. For example, Duhan, who did 1,000 kilometers with Alpine, and it was useless because in a car that could be among the first 7, easily, like Gasly showed in the last races and also in Abu Dhabi, he was last in the case of Colapinto. These tests will give him valuable hours of filming and allow Williams to monitor his progress closely. In addition, Wolfe confirmed that the Argentinian will be the 3rd driver of the team, although Williams will not officialize a reserve role since 2002. That is, since 2002. They have not officialized the reserve role, and they are not going to do it. That is the reason why they have not done it until now. And I did this before in a previous life with Esteban Ocon, when he took a sabbatical year. Esteban is here today and is still a strong driver. There are things we can do to maintain his strength clearly, to maintain the strength of Franco Colapinto. I do not think the best thing is for him not to be in Australia 2025 in the inaugural race of the 2025 Formula One World Championship. And I do not say it, I say it. And it says indirectly that Formula One, look, Formula One, we are very grateful, the sport maniacs, to Formula One, because it is impressive the way they are pushing the teams to do something because they want to see Franco Colapinto. Remember that these same teams did not want to let in the number 11 team. Remember this madness because it was not going to be competitive enough. And it is not going to be good for the show. And my question is it good for the show that a driver who has shown that he deserves a place and is better than others, than those who are going to be in 2025. And I will not put names to not be conflicting. It's not going to be. And who knows that Formula One knows it? And obviously, Formula One is who directly makes publication with Franco without confirming like this one. Do not worry, Carlos. Franco Colapinto has built your car for 2025. Then you can also find others like the comparison between Albon and also Franco Colapinto by Formula One. If that were not enough, you can find more Formula One publications in the last 6 days. Here you can see there have been 3, nothing more and nothing less. What kind of Franco do you feel today? Do you want me to explain it to you, gentlemen of Formula One? Better, I'm not going to explain it. We are going to continue with the news so that you can see that the plan directly of the head of Colapinto is to keep him. Obviously here it can be understood that they have not wanted to get rid of him. But we have said it in Sport Maniacs, this is not profitable. And why is it not profitable, Alberto? Because directly there have been rumors that it has been the sponsors themselves who are spreading the rumor that they are not going to be directly with Franco Colapinto supporting Williams. If they have to be as third drivers, they are not going to do that. They have it directly in the video that we made in the eSport Maniacs channel. It is a ruin for Williams that is already in ruin and directly is going to bet on keeping the winning horse. That is Colapinto. That is very good. I like the Williams option the most as an official driver in 2025, not as a reserve driver, but the situation seems that it is not the most appropriate for the future of Colapinto. James Wall said the following. He continued with his statements. I have known him for many years, obviously in Mercedes. He fell under my direction and that of Toto Wolff, and we took care of him, not referring to Ocon. And then, it is not the first time that James Wolff compares the case of Colapinto with Ocon. He also did it in Qatar. In the first place, we would have the best reserve driver. And look at these statements because they are very key family. He is talking in Qatar from there. In Qatar, I remind you that Qatar was in the Grand Prix on December 1st in this Grand Prix. Why did James Wolff say this in the first place? We would have the best reserve driver on December 1st because he already knew things. We said it yesterday in yesterday's video. This is from December 14th. Be attentive. The changes are not over. And on December 1st, he said, in the Qatar Grand Prix, in the first place, we would have the best reserve driver. Let's remember very quickly that Red Bull's interest was confirmed. Everything started on November 2nd, directly on December 4th. They denied it. And if you look at the video that we said, Haggard lets it slip, that there was even a signature that is serious for Checo. They were very dirty, but clean with Colapinto because they made a signature and they said it in the press. I suppose James Ball would know this. And look, that all this happened on the weekend of the Qatar Grand Prix, where James Ball directly said in the first place, we would have the best reserve driver. You understand where the shots are going. Why? Because directly, what does not fit the story is that on December 14th, days later, he says, be attentive, the changes are not over. How not? Of course, they are over, friend. Of course, they are over. And that is why you said he will be the best reserve driver. Red Bull had already told you directly through official statements. And we have also shown how Briatore had also said it, because the first statement saying, no, we are going to have Colapinto come from the same day, the 14th. When they talk about that, if they sign Colapinto, they are going to do it for 2026 because the offer goes from 20 to 30 million. Do you remember all that? Right? To Colapinto to sign him in 2026. We are talking directly about that. on the 14th of the 12th, everything was already known. 2 weeks before Red Bull's thing was known. And that same day, 14, James Wolfe comes and says, the changes are not over. When in truth, it is already being seen as info gathers here that James Wolfe, in the first place, we would have the best reserve driver. He already knew in Qatar what was going to happen. I remember again the calendar, Qatar 29 to December 1st, where Hard confirms that his signature was made. Then, of course, we are very grateful to James Wolfe for everything he has done for Colapinto. But I think this is not a sufficient explanation to understand what has happened. We miss pieces of the puzzle, and without those pieces, it makes you think that Red Bull has been clean with Colapinto, dirty with Checo, that Briatore has been clean with Colapinto, and that for the moment, William, we can say that he has not played. What has he played? I do not know. Tell me, I show you the dates. Nothing fits me. What has happened? Not surely. If James Wolfe could talk about the negotiations, or he will do it in the future, well, he will clarify many things for us. Not things like, for example, for the offer that Briatore will have made, but in the past, you know that it is rumored that even William wanted to make Briatore pay for Colapinto's accidents. He will have made the future competition of the previous driver Sergeant pay. In the second place, he will receive from us the best possible training. He continued with the words directly, James Wolfe, with TPC test and simulator test. TPC, you already know what it is. What they did with Ocon. Give him a 2-year-old car and start doing kilometers. Not as if it was useful. I do not say it. That has already been seen with the Duhan case. I have already practiced this before with Ocon, a year of rest. It did not hurt him either. Not referring to that Aon, a year of rest has not hurt him. Well, I do not know Ocon. I do not think he has stood out much in Formula 1. Well, he continued saying, I am very happy that we have a test team next year, so he can drive a Formula 1 car without pressure. There is a lot of talk about that at the moment, but it is something fantastic for young guys because they know how important it is. I think James here, what he has to be clear about is that directly Franco Colapinto needs something more. He has shown to have the level. If it was Duhan, I would understand that they had him 1 more year doing kilometers, but with Colapinto, he does not need more kilometers. But of course, the option is different. He is fighting with Albon, and who is quite tied to the contract to Williams, from what we see. And also Carlos Sainz, obviously, keep Colapinto active and prepared to return to the highest category in 2026 or before, if conditions allow. That would be the goal. Nothing more and nothing less than James Wolfe. And absolutely incomprehensible that Formula 1 can be left without Colapinto. In 2025, we insist it is something that Formula 1 itself is already doing many publications, and it is very grateful. Thanks, gentlemen of Formula 1, because it is absolutely impressive. A driver who has directly achieved with 1.1 million likes in the publication overtake of the year. You are seeing it here, 1.1 million likes. The publication, people are happy that Colapinto has been as the best overtake of the year. Only with 9 races is for Maniacs. We got it. Family, 2531 likes, 245 responses. All this, what is going to happen? What is going to happen with Colapinto? That is what we all ask ourselves and we want to know. And we would also like to know James Wolfe answers. I'm going to ask you the clear question before finishing the video if Qatar confirmed with the signature directly that the contract was closed by Red Bull. And they made it public in the press conference in official words by Red Bull that after November 2nd and asked about Colapinto on December 4th, they said he is a great talent, but we have a good junior program, discarding Colapinto. Why? Because it was the same weekend where Hard says that there was a signature that you can see. It is the Qatar Grand Prix from November 29th to December 1st. And then later with Red Bull, discarded. Briat came to discard him on the 14th. He told him for the first time that if he wanted Colapinto, it would be for 2026. And James Wolfe, the same day, be attentive, the changes are not over on the 14th. We are on the 26th. 11 days have passed. And 1 more day, and James Wolfe has spoken to say that we are attentive, that the news comes out, that Colapinto is going to do the method with, and confirms him as 3rd driver. It is good. It is a good opportunity. Thank you, James Wolfe. But we expected something to happen. We had the hope, the illusion, the faith that Franco Colapinto could be in the Formula 1 2025 season. It seems that it is not going to be like that. And I do not want to lose the illusion to the maximum. Look, what funds I put, 1% of possibilities, 99% of faith. James explained better to the sport maniacs what has happened, because seeing the dates, nothing fits us. And the only thing we can think is that on the part of William, the only thing you have wanted is to have him something that can go against you, because you have a very large economic debt to bear and face. Therefore, having the diamond does not mean anything. This is like the time that the football club Barcelona had economic problems not getting rid of the best players who charged a better salary. Incorporating some more, that is what Williams has done. Incorporate Carlos Sainz, when, in truth, they have economic problems. Williams is getting into problems. He's starting to remind me a bit of Bull. I do not see him with clear ideas. They want to keep Colapinto, but they can only give him a third driver role. You have already seen it with a 2-year-old car to go around to train something you do not need. Mr. James, can you please explain how the negotiations have gone for all this to happen, and that you said that there are going to be news? At the end, they did not give up. Finally repeat, thank you, James, for giving the opportunity with Colapinto to debut in Formula One. That is something that the sport maniacs will never forget, no matter what happens and no matter what they say.